there's a lot of money to be made in wholesaling for sure. We run a wholesaling operation in your market, which we started after coming out to visit one of your trainings. And, some of those, I should say, a majority of the wholesales that we do out there do better than our flips with, the margin that we make. Yeah.
And that's in Rochester, correct?
Rochester and Buffalo.
Oh my
right now, we're averaging about $27,000 an assignment.
Holy crap. I can't even fathom that. I live in Buffalo and I don't know if I've ever made that much on a wholesale here in Buffalo. Wow. It's insane.
It's crazy. Yeah.
I'm so out of the loop.
And we've done significantly more than that. Matter of fact, here where I live in New Hampshire, we did a deal in Massachusetts, which last month was our highest assignment ever here. And straight assignment, not wholesale, nothing. We did $75,000 on a straight assignment.
Oh my gosh.
So,
dude, listen,
we got to pay the team and everything out of that, but there's money to be made there. But, the way we designed our business is to maximize as much as we can on the back end. We buy low, sell high. We just do that with, the wholesaling aspects. So we've really built these systems in place thanks to some great coaching, but a lot of trial and error over time. My first deals were $5,000, $2,000, $7,000. Yeah. It took me a long time to get them to $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. In the New York market, we don't use the MLS. In the New Hampshire, Massachusetts market, we do. We put everything on the MLS. So, we'll do some double closes. A lot of properties we take down now and we'll go and just clean them up wholesaling, right? And just throw them right on the market. But in the New York market, 99% of what we do is just straight up assignments.
Okay. So and you're making those kind of spreads on assignments. I like you just said it. I'm so glad you brought that up. I'm like, I remember 2,500, $5,000. If we wholesale the property and made 10 grand, that was like, oh my gosh, this may never happen again. But like, what was the secret? Where did you figure out like how to push those assignment fees up? Was it just naturally because of the market going up and being crazy like it is? Or was it just how you were positioning them?
Both. So the market, obviously, the appreciation has definitely played a factor into that, because now we have some retail buyers buying some of these houses that, investors typically would buy, right? Because they're kind of desperate. But, the majority of who we still buy our houses are investors. But, it's really just been the systems. It's been a lot of training of teaching our acquisition team to work skills. So a lot of what we do, working with distressed sellers and distressed property owners and distressed properties, these people all have all kinds of problems. And really all we are problem solvers. We go in, we work with them and identify what their problems are and help provide them a solution in exchange for equity in their home. So, 9 times out of 10, they don't care how much money we make, as long as we can get them from A to B and change their life and give them a reset button, which is amazing, right? So we add a lot of value in that aspect. But, we've learned how to, buy these properties or get them locked up at prices that are pretty low. And then we've really worked hard to assign them to end buyers at a higher price. A lot of marketing goes into this on both sides. There's a lot of money, a lot of back-end operations, a lot of training, a lot of tracking KPIs and testing. So it's not that easy, but it is easy. It just takes time.
Yeah,
I know if that answered your question.
It does. And one thing I know that you've always doubled down on and really gone all in on is your marketing. Even when things were tough, you just went deeper into it. And I remember you talking about that at the Inner Circle Mastermind, how you guys just kept plowing money into marketing. But, you're tracking your KPIs. A lot of, newcomers might spend a bunch on marketing, but they're not tracking and keeping, tabs on, we spent this much. What was our result? How many leads? How many closed deals did we get? And you got a whole system that you've developed around that. Is that not correct?
That's correct. Yeah. And we're always testing marketing all the time. And, we have 3 main marketing channels now, but, we'll some, they ebb and flow, and some do better in some markets compared to other markets. So yeah, and we're always trying to push our marketing to, the point of no return, whatever that terminology calls. Ken Clothy has a great term, and I'm drawing a blank what that term is. But we're just pushing the envelope. and we're just tracking our KPIs. And if we can push a little more in that market, we can. In wholesaling specifically, it's all about the marketing. You're spending a ton of money on marketing. When you're first starting out as a one person who you're just kind of hustling to get the deal, you don't have to spend a lot. But when you want to grow it into a company, it becomes a marketing machine. And although we do wholesaling, I really call us off-market property acquisitionists. We are looking to just market and buy properties off market, and we have multiple exit strategies in how we handle it. And we look at each property and say, all right, what's the best way to maximize it? Should we keep this as a rental? Should we flip it? Should we wholesale it? Should we just assign it? And, we just look at all those aspects when those properties come in. But it requires a lot of time, energy, and resources to acquire a lot of properties. And especially in the market where we are today with this low inventory, to be somebody who's getting all these properties in a market with low inventory, it's not easy. It's not easy at all.
Yeah. I mean, that was the first thing when you're talking about getting these properties and solving these problems. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, why don't these people that are in trouble with their properties, why don't they just list it on the MLS? I mean, is it just lack of knowledge? Is it they're embarrassed? Like, what do you think the reason is? Because if they put it on the MLS, chances are they'd make more money. I mean, what's your take on that as to why people don't just go the path that we would go as real estate investors?
So one of the things that our acquisition specialists do in meetings with people is we always say, you should consider putting your house on the MLS because it's going to make you more money. Now, a lot of wholesalers are afraid to do that because if we do that, oh my God, they're not going to want to do business with us. Well, that's okay if you're not the best approach. At the end of the day, if they're money motivated, we're not the best option for them anyway. So, we want to get that, situation out, or that elephant in the room, the objection out right away. If you want top dollar, we're not the fit for you. We'll send you in a realtor that's the right direction for you. But there's so many reasons why they don't want to. Many houses we get are hoarding houses, right? So they're embarrassed to have people come into their house. They don't want to have to worry about cleaning their house. They may have somebody who's sick in the house and they don't want a lot of people showing, going through the house showing. They may feel embarrassed that, maybe they've owned it for 40 years and it's, to us, is in decent shape. It's just dated, but for them, they feel like they're too prideful to have it shown in this kind of condition. Some people inherit houses that are out of state and they want nothing to do with it. Just give me my cash and run. Some people owe a lot of money in taxes. Some people are behind on their mortgage payments. There's so many various reasons, and a lot of them, it's not, hey, why didn't you listen with a realtor? A lot of it's like, I had no idea you guys were even an option. Thank goodness you called me. Thank goodness you sent me a text message. Thank God I got your mailing. You guys are a blessing. You've changed my life. I could get out of this situation and go into this situation. And it's not just about buying this person's house or putting this property under contract and selling. These people are distressed for a reason, and they need a lot of help getting from point A to point B. So we may say, you can leave all your stuff behind so you don't have to worry about cleaning anything. We may send movers there and pack everything up for them and move them to another location on our dime because they don't have any money. There was this house where we bought 2 years ago where this gentleman suffered a brain injury and he was living on his own, and he started collecting more and more stuff. It became this really bad hoarder to a point where he had barely any running water and barely any electricity in the house. His house was literally 2 feet of trash, not junk, trash. Wow. And he was sleeping on a couch in a room full of all this trash. And he just spiraled out of control. We came in there. We were able to buy that house as is, right? We found him a mobile home to downsize that would fit in his budget, put that under contract for him, gave him the down deposit on that, and then moved him into that house, and then got all of our money back on the closing on that stuff. So we had to organize and orchestrate this whole thing. Matter of fact, in your market, Dylan Saxon, amazing guy, one of two amazing acquisition specialists. He just relocated a person from Buffalo to Florida.
No kidding. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And so this lady was struggling for a long time, and he gets the house under contract, but she wants to move to Florida. He calls local real estate agents down in the area she wants to find, finds her a place, We get the property under contract. We pay for an inspector to go inspect it. The inspector comes back and is like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things are done. Dylan goes back and negotiates better terms for her and repairs done to the house prior to her moving down. We then organize movers to move her from New York to Florida, move her down there and set her up at a new place. All of this is part of what we do for the assignment. So, when people just say, don't sell it to a wholesaler, just go to a realtor. I'm sorry, a realtor's not going to do all that stuff.
No, a realtor is going to be like, you're going to have to clean this up. You're going to have to paint those walls. Is there anything you can do over here? Like, can we stage this? And the people are like, I can't pay my electric bill and you want me to paint a wall. I can't pay my utilities and you want me to stage? What is staging? Like, I have furniture so I get it. But like, the whole idea behind what you do and where your success is one simple thing that everybody really needs to take away from this. And that is solving a problem. Every day you're solving problems. And in the wholesaling business, really, you're a marketing company, but you're also a supercharged problem solver. Yep. And, I think that's awesome. I had no idea Dylan did that. And I followed Dylan's stuff pretty closely just because, they went through our programs and we got to really like them. And I think we actually introduced him to you, or somehow it was through the mastermind or whatever.
Yeah.
They're super.
And Emma are amazing. Great people with big hearts. And, Eddie, who is DiLorenzo, who's our acquisition guy here in New Hampshire, they're just like me and Michelle. You have to be a go-giver. You have to care about these people. And as much as realtors and people in real estate think that everything just fits in a box, it just doesn't. So, listing it works for a majority of people, but there's a whole bunch of people. It's just not realistic and it's not an option. They need too much help. And that's where we could come in and provide a lot of value. And, these people need a lot of hand-holding to get to the closing table. Heck, some of these people who own these houses have never even experienced a closing or selling their house in their lifetime. It could be, Aunt Jane, who's lived in this house for 70 years. Her husband handled everything. Now he's gone and she has to sell a house. She doesn't know. She needs somebody to handhold her through this whole process. And, so we're providing a lot of value. And that's why I have no issues about how much money we make, because we deserve it, because we're providing a lot of value and we put in a lot of time behind the scenes that people don't know about. Mm-hmm. We're not out there boasting about, how much money we make and how much stuff goes into it. We're just trying to provide value, build our company up so everybody on our team can make a lot of money and be successful.